Legendary guitarist and two-time Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Jeff Beck, one of the great collaborators in music history, has once again found an unexpected co-conspirator in Johnny Depp. The musical soulmates have been working behind the scenes for the past several years on new music and have released their first single as a duo today, a reimagining of John Lennon's classic track Isolation, which is available now on all streaming and digital download services from Rene Records. Isolation finds Beck in classic form on guitar with Depp on vocals, joined by longtime Beck collaborators Vinnie Colaiuta on drums and Rhonda Smith on bass. The band first performed the track live at Eric Clapton's Crossroads Guitar Festival last September in Texas. Johnny Depp is continuing to enjoy his life post-trial. Several weeks after the actor's ex-wife Amber Heard was found liable for defamation, Johnny was photographed surrounded by a group of female fans in Germany asking photos and signatures. The Pirates of the Caribbean star greeted his supporters in front of the Stadthalle Offenbach in the city of Hesse ahead of his concert with Jeff Beck. He said hello and posed with a big smile on his face, looking relaxed and happy during the daytime outing. In the photos, Johnny could be seen wearing a grey t-shirt with a plaid flannel shirt on top, which he layered with a grey jacket atop the two. He accessorized his look with a pair of large mirrored sunglasses. The actor appears to be enjoying touring Europe with Beck over the last several weeks, and ahead of their upcoming collaboration album, he took to IG to announce the release of their single, The Death and Resurrection Show, is out now. The Death and Resurrection Show is a cover of British band Killing Joke's 2003 song of the same name, and Johnny revealed on July 7th that his rendition of the song is out now ahead of his and Beck's upcoming July 15th album. It's an extraordinary honor to play and write music with Jeff, one of the true greats and someone I am now privileged enough to call my brother, Johnny said in a statement ahead of the album release, while Beck added, I haven't had another creative partner like him for ages. He was a major force on this record. The musician joked, I just hope people will take him seriously as a musician because it's a hard thing for some people to accept that Johnny Depp can sing rock and roll. Johnny's foray into the rock and roll world comes after his long-winded defamation trial against his ex-wife Amber Heard. Recall, the Sweeney Todd actor accused the Aquaman star of defaming him and causing him to lose work after she published a 2018 op-ed in the Washington Post detailing her own domestic abuse. In June, Depp won all 3 defamation claims in his case against her, and the jury awarded him $15 million in damages. Recently, a source told Hollywood Life exclusively that Johnny wishes his ex no ill will following the trial. He isn't going to jump on the social media hate bandwagon and he just wants to move forward with his own life. Johnny can't wait to go on tour next year, and even though it's a ways away, he has a ton of projects lined up to keep him very busy in the meantime, the insider shared at the time. Johnny is happier than he has been in a long time and he feels like this is a whole new chapter for him. Music has always been cathartic for Johnny and this is really what he needs right now after all the stress and drama he's dealt with for the past several years. Johnny and I have been working on music together for a while now and we recorded this track during our time in the studio last year. We weren't expecting to release it so soon, but given all the hard days and true isolation that people are going through in these challenging times, we decided now might be the right time to let you all hear it, says Beck. You'll be hearing more from Johnny and me in a little while, but until then we hope you find some comfort and solidarity in our take on this Lennon classic. Johnny Depp adds, Jeff Beck and I recorded this song Isolation last year, as our take on a beautiful John Lennon tune. Lennon's poetry, We're Afraid of Everyone. Afraid of the Sun, seemed to Jeff and me especially profound right now, this song about isolation, fear, and existential risks to our world. So we wanted to give it to you, and hope it helps you make sense of the moment or just helps you pass the time as we endure isolation together. Beck is universally acknowledged as one of the most talented and significant guitarists in the world and has played alongside some of the greatest artists of rock, blues, and jazz. Over the course of his distinguished 50-plus music career, he has earned an incredible 8 Grammy Awards, been ranked by Rolling Stone as one of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time, and been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, once as a member of the Yardbirds and again as a solo artist. In the summer of 2016, the guitar virtuoso celebrated his 5 decades of music with an extraordinary concert at the famous Hollywood Bowl. Depp has amassed quite the musical resume of his own, playing in the Hollywood Vampires supergroup with Alice Cooper and Joe Perry for the last 5 years. He's also collaborated with a wide variety of musical artists over the last several decades, from Oasis to Marilyn Manson to Stone Temple Pilots, just to name a few. The Jeff Beck UK tour, we are working with our agents and promoters to reschedule dates and will release the new tour routing as soon as we are able. All tickets will be honored for the rescheduled concert dates. Johnny Depp has dropped his new single The Death and the Resurrection, a cover of the 2003 Killing Joke track that sees him team up once again with guitar legend Jeff Beck. The track was announced via the actor's Instagram account, and is lifted from the pair's upcoming collaborative album, 18, which is due July 15th. It's a fairly faithful take on the original, though it slightly tweaks the introduction's dynamic so that the electric guitars hit harder when they finally arrive around the 1-minute mark. Depp and Beck spend much of the track's 5.5-minute runtime plugging away at the relentless riff that brutally bounces between two notes, augmenting the track with some off-kilter embellishments and a handful of heavy-hitting chordal passages. It's a full-on 5 minutes, with the only reprieve coming from the short interlude section that precedes the finale's show-stopping guitar solo. The Death and the Resurrection is the latest track to be released by Depp and Beck after the pair teamed up for a handful of shows across England earlier this year, shortly after the actor's publicized defamation trial against ex-wife Amber Heard. At the Gateshead show, Beck confirmed the imminent arrival of a joint record that he and Depp had both worked on. Shortly after the tease, the news was made official, and it was announced that 18, which had been in the works since 2019, would be dropping later this month. At the time of the announcement, Depp said, "It's an extraordinary honor to play and write music with Jeff, one of the true greats and someone I am now privileged enough to call my brother. I haven't had another creative partner like Depp for ages," Beck added. "He was a major force on this record. I just hope people will take him seriously as a musician because it's a hard thing for some people to accept that Johnny Depp can sing rock and roll." The first single, This Is a Song for Miss Hedy Lamarr, was released at the same time, and is a Depp original. The two tracks will be joined by a host of other covers, including renditions of the Beach Boys' Caroline, No, Marvin Gaye's What's Going On and the Velvet Underground's Venus in Furs. One other of Depp's originals is also going over well. Who'd have thought this unlikely team would get together to make music? It's great news.